up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 166 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. And this week we're going to break down and review Hollow Man, starring Kevin Bacon. Great film. Paul Verhoeven's last film that he made in Hollywood. After this he would go back to Europe and do Dutch films and French films and stuff like that. But anywho, so that's what we're doing. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Let's make sure we're live everywhere. We're live on YouTube, yes we are. We're live on Rumble, yes we are. And we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch. Can you see it? And my books. Again, they're under here. Hang on, I'll get them out. Hang on, where are they? I'll just get my books out. They're underneath a pile of birthday cards. Christmas, they're under a pile of Christmas cards. Now they're under a pile of birthday cards. So here are my books. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi, action-adventure about UFOs and stuff. And Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats eating people in the North Yorkshire village. Why? Doesn't really matter. One's a big thick book, one's a little thin book. So that's them. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. I don't make any money off of Mercury Rapids because I've got it at the lowest price that Amazon would allow me to sell it for. Anywho, Wingrace says roar for some reason. And Princess is with me as well, keeping me company. Aren't you, sweetheart? Yes. What else? Links, links in the description. That's what we're doing, won't I? Also links for my social medias and my other websites and my other channels and all that palaver. Become a member and you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. Right, so Hollow Man from 2000, a film from the dawn of the millennium-ish, sort of. As I said, directed by Paul Verhoeven. It's not based on any book in particular, I don't think. But they did buy the rights to a book called Hollow Man, even though the book had nothing to do with this film, just so they could use the title. It's essentially The Invisible Man. Probably the best version of The Invisible Man we've ever had on film, in my opinion. But anyway, as I said, directed by Paul Verhoeven. Stars Elizabeth Shue, who gets top billing for some bizarre reason. I've no idea why. I'm not a fan, but anyway, never mind. Kevin Bacon, Josh Brolin, Kim Dickens, Greg Grunberg, J.J. Abrams' best mate, Joey Slotnick, Mary Randall, and William Devane, and a few other characters dotted about. And a cool musical score from Jerry Goldsmith, and the opening titles really remind me of something, and I can't think what. Either another film or a game. It might be Resident Evil Outbreak. I don't know, but anyway. That's by the by. What was its budget? It had a budget of $95 million, and it did $190 million at the box office, so it did okay. I don't know what its reception was. What's its reception? Let's have a look. What scores did it get? Generally negative reviews from critics. It's a bit miserable, isn't it? Let's have a look on Rotten Tomatoes. What does it say? Right. Bear with me. What's his score on Rotten Tomatoes? No, I don't want the Rotten Tomatoes Wikipedia page, you bloody idiot. Sorry, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Where the hell have I done with it now? Oh, I've lost the Wikipedia page. I clicked the wrong thing. Right, Rotten Tomatoes. Live, eh? Blooming live. So if we need any more info from the Wikipedia page, I'm going to have to go looking for it. Right, Hollow Man. There we go. What's its Wikipedia score? Rotten Tomatoes score. Blimey, that all? 25% critics, 28% audience. Has the world gone mad? It's a great film. Unbelievable. But Wingrace is telling me it's a rubbish film. Is he from the Hollow Earth? Asks Wingrace. Yes, he is. Exactly from the Hollow Earth. Justin's here with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. And delivering sad news. Yes, I just read this. Just as I was waiting about 15 minutes ago. Kathleen O'Hara's passed away at the age of 71. It's been loads of stuff. Home Alone, Beetlejuice, and all that. Very sad. Very, very sad. And hello, Justin. Welcome to the show. And thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Right, so we'll get on with this film, shall we? We're not going to watch it, obviously. We're going to go through it in a series of stills, and I'll try and remember what I've gleaned from the Blu-ray. Oh, there it is. I wonder where that had gone. So the Princess has been moving about on my computer desk here and knocking things about, and you don't want to know what I've just found. It's not very nice. It's old gum that I had on my desk that I keep forgetting to throw away. Because before I start, I always chew a bit of gum, and then just before the show starts, I take it out and put it in a little pile here. I did have a massive pile of gum, but I threw that away. Now I've started a new pile. Anyway, that's by the by. So I'll try and remember what I've gleaned from the commentary and the behind-the-scenes stuff and all that palaver. Right, so I'll put myself down the corner and we shall begin. If I can remember what I'm supposed to blooming do. Wingreace has Scotch flavour. I have no idea what Scotch flavour is, but no, it's not. It's I think it's either spearmint or peppermint. I can't remember which. Justin says also Rona Mitra. Yes, she is. Yes, I forgot to mention her. Is in this. Love her. Yes, and Kevin Bacon loves her in this film. In the extended version, which we're going to be watching, I'm going to have to be careful, aren't I? When we get to those bits, there's a little bit of nudity in this film, so I'm going to have to be quick. That's the gum they made, is it? Oh, right, I can't remember. Scotch flavour, whatever that is. As in the flavour of Scotch, like Scotch whiskey, that flavour. Anyway, where were we? I will put myself down in the corner, won't I? Is it that one? Yeah. I tell you, I have too many things set up. Right, add to stage. Off we go. Right, here we go. There are some Star Trek actors in this, by the way. Or at least one. At the top of my head. And the Stargate. Not butter, the whiskey. Oh, right, Scotch whiskey flavoured gum. Ew. I don't like Scotch as it is, never mind in gum. Yes, there's a Stargate chap in. William Devane, who's been in Stargate. I'm 24. He usually plays the president in everything, doesn't he? Anyway, but he doesn't in this. Right, where were we? Here we go, the good old Columbia lady. There she is. I remember in the commentary, Kevin Bacon asks, who's she based on? And we checked, didn't we? Remember, ages and ages ago. I checked, didn't I? I looked it up. And obviously, I've forgotten, so it don't matter. It's based on a person, a model who posed or whatever. Right, off we go. So we begin. There we go. Elizabeth Shue. There she is. Paul Verhoven film. Elizabeth Shue. Top billing. I have no idea why. I'm not a huge fan of Elizabeth Shue. She's very pretty and all that. But there's something about her. She just looks like she's acting. I know she is acting, but she looks like she's acting. She's hitting her marks and remembering when her line comes in. She's like that. She doesn't seem natural to me. I'm not a fan. Don't know why she gets top billing. But I didn't even like her in Back to the Future because she replaced that other actress, didn't she? And she was rubbish. But and then there we go. Kevin Bacon, second billing. There he is. He should be top billing, shouldn't he? I'm sure it's probably a gentleman. Or maybe Elizabeth Shue's got an amazing agent and just demanded top billing. We said maybe you'll meet him when they film the new Stargate in your garden. Yes, because it's filming in London later on this year, apparently. Why London? I have no idea. I'm guessing tax breaks. Not many pine trees in London, but they're not just filming in London. I assume the studio stuff they're filming in London. I'm guessing, and then for the locations they'll go elsewhere. Won't they? But anyway. Where were we? Kevin Bacon, there he is. We also saw Josh Brolin, and there's the title, Hollow Man. And so the music, I'll just play a little bit. It reminds me of something, and I can't think what. Picked a bad bit. I always pick the wrong part, don't I? I'll try this bit. I'm sure it's a horror film or like a ghost film or something like that. And it does when it gets going. It more reminds me of the opening theme for the game Resident Evil Outbreak, which I've not played, but my son's got it. But anyway, according to Google, it's because she had the most visible screen time. Oh, is that it? Does that matter? That doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, remember Superman, 1978 Superman? Marlon Brando got top billing in that, and he's in it for 10 minutes. What are you up to? She's falling off, look. Oh, you can't see, hang on. She's falling off, look. Princess, what you doing? Get up there, go on. Are you being a silly sausage? Eh? Yes, you are. It's falling off. Anyway. Yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll accept that. Even though it doesn't really make sense, does it? I think she's got a good agent. Anywho, where were we? Shush. Right. All the people, and it's cool. I'm not sure what it's supposed to represent. What we're seeing, is it supposed to be like cells and stuff? I don't know. But anyway. All right, this beginning bit of this film, right? Okay, we begin. It just starts there. We go directed by Paul Verhoven, and we see somebody, don't know, putting a rat in here. I don't know who this is supposed to be. I think they just wanted to start the film with a bit of shock value. Also, Blade Runner on the big screen was awesome. Oh, yes, you went to see that on the pictures, didn't you? Yes, I bet it was good actually on the big screen. I've never seen it at the cinema. And as I said last week when you said you were going, I'm not the biggest fan of Blade Runner, although I do like it. I do think it is an amazing film. But it's not a film a fawn over. But I love the effects and I love the score. But that's it. I like to put it on in the background. And that's super cool. Anyway, where were we? I think they put it for shock value. They put this rat in. Here it goes, this rat, which is a real rat, obviously, for a bit. And it runs into this cage. I don't get it. I don't understand why they've done this. And it runs into this cage that closes behind it. So it's trapped in this cage, and there it is, having a look about. There's something picks it up. There we go. It's sniffling about this water bowl, and then there we go. Something picks it up. Something invisible picks it up. It's a head scratcher. Blade Runner or this bit that we're on about. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. Anyway, something picks it up and then just eats it. We'll skip over it. Hang on. We'll not dwell on it. There we go. Something eats it. Something with sharp teeth. This is the gorilla in the film, and I don't know why it's showing that. Well, I do, but it can't. I think they just put it there for shock value. I wonder if it was supposed to be in later on in the film. I don't know. But we learn it's a gorilla called, I think it's Isabel, who's invisible. They've turned the gorilla invisible in the film beforehand. But gorillas are vegetarians, aren't they? So, but it's showing how violent animals get when they're turned invisible. So it eats a rat. Why did they put the rat in? Did he put the rat in? Kevin Bacon. I don't know. I think they just put it in to have a bit of gore at the beginning of the film. But anyway, so then we cut to Kevin Bacon in his apartment watching Jay Leno. He's trying to crack reversion because they can make things invisible, but they can't make them uninvisible. And the way that they're making them invisible, they're phase shifting them. So they're cloaking them, like in Star Trek. The phase shifting them. The writer described it as they're making them in between the frames of the film. They're on about on a film, reel of film, you've as much the camera, the shutter is open. It's closed for as much time as it is open. So you're looking at the bits in between the frames. That's how he describes it. Anyway, being invisible. But they can't bring them back out of invisibility. So that's what he's working on now. There he is. Working there, and it comes to him all of a sudden. There we go, unstable, but then he goes, has to think, oh, I'll never work this out. And so he goes and looks at his neighbour who lives across. He lives in an apartment block. She lives across the courtyard or whatever. There she is, the lovely Rona Mitra, who we'll see a lot more of later. Rona Mitra, I think this was her first big film, I think, and she doesn't have a big role in it, but it's memorable. But she will go on to be in stuff like Doomsday and Underworld: Rise of the Lycans and Stargate Universe. She'd be in that, wouldn't she? And she was the first proper model for Lara Croft, the publicity model. There was one before her, but that was before the game took off. And she became the official model for Lara Croft back in 1996. Anyway, right, so here we go. There, he's got a sign on his ceiling saying, you should be working. And he's thinking, I can't do it. And then it comes to him, and he just does things. He just does that on his computer. And it works. There we go. Stable, yay! Right, so there we go. He says, I'm a goddamn genius. Because he is. I forgot who he plays. Sebastian Kane, I think his name is. Yes. Sebastian Kane. Who is a young genius who's running this research place in Washington, D.C. To crack invisibility. Bit like the Philadelphia experiment, I presume. Anyway, so he phones up Elizabeth Shue, there she is, who plays Linda something. Linda McKay, I wonder if she's related to Rodney. Her first big film was Beowulf. Oh, was she in that? I can't remember, but it'll be the voice, won't it? Are you on about the animated one with I forgot his name now. I will kill your monster. Him. I forgot his name now. Him. Ray Winston. That one. I don't know. Anyway, where were we? Elizabeth Shue. Live action. Well, they're a live action one. All right, fair enough. I've not seen that one. I've not seen it, so I don't know. It can't be that big, can it, Justin? Anyway. I think this was her first high-profile film. So there we go. With Christopher Lambert. There we go. Or is it Christophe Lambert? I'll have to look that one up. Right, where were we? Elizabeth Shue. Right, so there she is, Elizabeth Shue, as Linda McKay, no relation to Rodney McKay. Or maybe there is. So he phones her up. And we see she's in bed with somebody. It turns out that's Josh Brolin. So anyway, he don't phone her up. He calls her on the computer. There we go. Incoming call on because it's the future of 2000. And he notices, if you notice in the back, he can say, who's that in bed with you? Because he don't know that she's in a relationship with Josh Brolin, who is one of their colleagues at work. She used to be in a relationship with Sebastian, but not anymore. Now she's with Josh Brolin's character, who is called Matthew Kensington. Anywho, he tells her, right, I've sussed it out. She's moving the camera now. Looks none of your business. So I've worked out reversion. So get the team together. We're going to test it and bring whatever the bloody gorilla's called. I've forgotten already. Bring her back. Right. So off they go. Right, they're going to go into it. There he's telling blah 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 blah. There goes Sebastian Cole. We've got to get to the lab. So off they go. And there they are getting ready. And they decide to go in separate cars because they don't want everybody knowing, particularly Sebastian, that they're in a relationship. And Kevin Bacon hates Josh Brolin. Not really, but it annoys him because Kevin Bacon was saying, I was in the gym all the time getting skinny. And he says, Josh Brolin never exercises. And he's got this, great physique. And it annoyed him. Anywho, right, so here we go. We're in Washington, D.C. This isn't stock footage. It's an helicopter shot in Washington, D.C. Because they're going to pan down and I think it took like 15 takes, which Paul Verhoven said wasn't that, what okay, wasn't as many as he thought it'd be. He said we had a really good helicopter pilot because the camera pans down, and then we zoom in on Kevin Bacon in his car, listening to his rock music. And anyway, so they go over to this research place in DC, which is, I think it's supposed to be underneath there, but it goes through these gates here. But it's an underground facility, and it starts off as like all modern, and then it turns into like brickwork. So I think it's supposed to be underneath this place, but it's all top secret, run by the military, by the way. I forgot to mention that. But their security is rubbish. It is, because if you notice, see, it's not good. Just drives up, and that goes up. And I don't know anything about security, particularly in America, but that goes up, and then the guard comes out. Shouldn't the guard be on the other side of the barrier? Shouldn't they keep the barrier down while they've checked them to make sure that, it's supposed to be all top secret and run by the military? But they come in, oh, hello, Dr. Kane, off you go, morning. But anyway, whatever, that's a nitpick. Right, so in he goes. This bit here, it shows him drive up here. And I wonder if the first take, or this long shot, he just drove straight in. Because it doesn't seem to slow down. And then the next shot is stopped, waiting for it to go up. Just watch. Oh. I think he carried on. I wonder if he bumped into the thing. Anyway, whatever. So when he comes, there's another guard in here called Tom, I think. Is it Tom or Ed? I can't remember. Ed. Where'd they get Tom from? Don't know. The fella that plays the gorilla, Isabel, called Tom. Anyway, so in he goes, and this way he says it's all top secret. Says we're working on something special. Says you know the rules. It's all top secret. Thumbprints and everything. We've all got on his phones now. How does it read? I want to know how your phone reads your fingerprint or whatever you use on your phone screen. It's witchcraft. It is, but it's alien technology. I reckon. Smartphones came from alien tech. I do. That's what I think. Anyway, right. So he gets in the elevator. And we see a cool shot, a transition from a real, this is in the studio, that transitions down into a model, a miniature of an elevator. So there we go. Cool transition. Pretty seamless, if you ask me. I'm going to play it again. There it goes. Pretty seamless transition there. Right, so now we're in the with the animals. We see there's various animals. There's a dog there, something invisible in there. All the invisible creatures seem to be freaking out and banging their cages and stuff. It's all of the devil. Yes, all this technology and stuff. Yes, it is. Smartphones. I'm sure it's probably mentioned in Revelation or something like that. For he who shall have the smartphone in his hand shall have the number of the beast. Anyway, we see... we see a cat that just can't be bothered. Cat doesn't give a monkeys because it's a cat. Bit like you. And then we see, I think there's a chimpanzee in here, freaking out, going ee, ee, ee. And then we get a, I think we see it on a monitor. I think there we go. Yeah. A thermal image of the invisible chimpanzee banging its cage. And then we see a thermal camera. Lots of thermal images in this, just like Predator. Anyway, here comes Josh Brolin. I'll just call them by their actor names, not the character names. Or I'll probably switch between them because I'm stupid. But Isabel's in there, and he's a bit of an idiot, if you ask me. But never mind. It goes up. We goes up to it. There goes Isabel, and there we see a bit of Michael Bentine's potty time there. If you know, you know. And it runs up to the cage, and the gorilla could have just ripped his throat out, couldn't it? Or just broke his face off, or whatever. But thankfully, it didn't, or she didn't. But anyway, and then he goes in. There's the other stuff freaking out. Right, so to see him now, not just relying on the cameras dotted about, they've got these goggles that they put on, which obviously are not real. But it's a cool bit of kit that they wear. There we go. They can see. We can see the gorilla. And to do this effect, it's obviously a man in a suit. As I say, it's Tom Woodruff. Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff, famous for the Alien films and stuff. And later on the Predator films. Did the gorilla in this. So it's Tom Woodruff in there. And it's actually filmed with a thermal camera, but obviously it's a man in a suit, so it won't have a thermal signature. So they actually heated up the suit with their hair dryers to make it warm. So that's how they did that. And anyway, then he goes in. He goes in the cage because he's mental. I'm not going to hurt you. And obviously then she bites his hand. There we go. And gets out of the cage and runs off. So now they've got to capture her. There we go. Sebastian's arrived. So they've got snazzy tranquilizer guns and stuff. So they're going after her. He does a bet, $10 if I get her first. All that stuff, because they're kind of in competition with each other. So anyway, he misses. Matt misses, which is a thing that it comes back later on in the film, setting up that he tends to miss. Don't know why. It's just a bad shot. And Sebastian gets her. There we go. With a tranquilizer dart. But anywho, there we go. Someday I may actually make you pay up, he says. It's all fun and games at the moment. Anyway, so there's Kim Dickens. There she is. She's like the vet who looks after the animals. She doesn't like the cavalier way that everybody else treats the animals. Obviously, because she's a vet. But she's pretty angry all the way through the film, and she doesn't think they should go to without testing this new serum. It's a serum that they develop. They should test it a bit more before go straight into trying to bring Isabel out of phase or back into phase or whatever. But it says we're doing it anyway. So here we go. They're going to bring Isabel back, and there's the serum. They use radiation or something to I don't know, activate the serum. I don't know, but it's sci-fi. Right. So anyway, Isabel's on the bed. There she is. You can see her there, can't you? And off they go. Up here's where they do all the computer stuff up here. I can't remember the names of these characters. I've forgotten. Frank and Janice up there. And Frank says, "This is God," because he's up in the thing, talking through a speaker. You are working against nature and all that stuff. And Sebastian says to him, "You're not God. I've told you before, you're not God. I'm God." So, whatever. There we go. God has spoken. Anywho, so here we go. They're getting ready now. Getting ready. There's the serum that they're going to use. They're getting ready. All right. So she's preparing a vein. She got to spray onto the invisible gorilla to get a vein. It's a big bloody vein, that, isn't it? But anyway, there we go. So off it goes. Injection occurred. There it goes. Cool CG for the time, I suppose. Anyway, right. So here she comes now. She's coming back. Look, all the capillaries and stuff are all reforming, and it looks a bit ropey, doesn't it? But never mind. That's it. It's 2000, and she starts freaking out. All the alarms go off, and they go, "Oh no, we've got to bring her back." She's flatlining and stuff. There we go. She's coming back into phase. They're doing it, so that it appear gradually from the bones, and then the blood vessels, and then the muscles, then the fat, then the skin, and all that stuff. And yes, you do see Kevin Bacon's Willie in this film several times, but not full on. Either in a CG version of it or a thermal image, but not that you should be looking. Anyway, there we go. She's going into cardiac arrest, but then she settles down, and everything's okay. She settled down. There we go. And she comes back. There we go. She's coming back. Is Isabel? I don't know why they're testing on gorillas. They seem to, they've got a variety of animals, but you think, why a gorilla? Anyway, never mind. So, hang on, where are we? There we go. She's coming back now. A CG gorilla. That's not Tom Woodruff in a suit there. That's a CG one. He was there in the suit, but Paul Verhoven said it didn't look quite right. There was something about the fur or something was, I don't know, the wrong colour or something were up with it, and it didn't look quite right. So they CG'd over Tom Woodruff. So when she's pressing on there, she's actually pressing on Tom Woodruff in the suit. But anyway. So, yay, success. So they think everything's okay. It's not, you can tell it's a man in a suit, but it's a good suit, I suppose. Then Sebastian says he's kind of joking, just to get a rise from, I forgot her name again. Have I mentioned it? I don't know. Sarah Kennedy, not from You've Been Framed. Sarah Kennedy. No, it's not You've Been Framed. There was a TV presenter called Sarah Kennedy in the UK, and she was in a TV show. What do you call it now? No. Was it Just for a Laugh? No, it wasn't that either, was it? I can't remember. Anyway, it was a long time ago. It's trying to get a rise out of her anyway. It says, prepare her to have her brain sliced up for testing and all that stuff, for euthanasia and all that's whatever they call it. So there you go. So she's getting angry. But he's just trying to get a rise out of her. Justice says, this is a really good movie. I'll keep the one downside to myself. Okie dokie. Well, you have to tell us when we get to it. Or have we passed it already? I'm trying to think. I can't think of a downside. It's not the best story. It doesn't really explain why, spoilers, Sebastian makes himself invisible and goes crazy. It doesn't really explain that, why. But anyway. Or why the other animals seem to go mental. It doesn't really say. She says, I always thought Kevin Bacon would make a great Freddy. As in Freddy Krueger. But probably. I think Kevin Bacon can turn his hand to anything. He's a great actor. I like Kevin Bacon. I think he could do anything. Anywho. So they're having a little argument. So anyway, they're going to go and celebrate now because they've succeeded. They've brought something back from the invisible realm. So they've gone out to a restaurant, which I think is an actual restaurant they filmed in, which is on the ground floor. But they use the building because what's going to happen? They're going to show them around this table in this restaurant, which Paul Verhoeven said is a real restaurant. I think in Washington DC. But then it shows them go to another room, which shows the restaurant's supposed to be on a rooftop, supposed to be a rooftop restaurant, but they actually went up to the roof of the actual restaurant and filmed up on this roof in Washington DC. So there must be a cool transition. But see if we can see the cut. Anyway, so they're all celebrating. There we go. They're all celebrating. And then she looks round. So they all toast, and then there's like a passage of time where they're all telling stories. She looks round, and he's disappeared. As a forewarning of what's going to come later, because he vanishes again later, doesn't he? Literally. So she goes to check him out. Right, we'll see if we can see this. See if there's a cut. Do you reckon it's that person walking past? Him? No, maybe not. There we go. There it is. That's the cut, isn't it? A definite cut. I thought they did it all in one shot, walking out onto the rooftop. But it's there, isn't it? Anyway, so she comes out to the rooftop. And there he is, thinking about what they've done. And it's not a blue screen there, actually. Up on the rooftop, overlooking that Capitol Hill. But anyway, whatever. Seeing the Bacon Brothers live. I didn't even know I had a brother. They're from Philadelphia City, only 35 minutes away from me. So Justin's from Philly. Cool. Lots of Philly. All I know about Philadelphia is Philly steaks or Philly steak and cheese. I don't know. And what else? Oh, Rocky's from Philadelphia, isn't it? There's that statue, isn't there? Which is not on those steps anymore, is it? It's they put it somewhere else, haven't Anywho, where were we? Right, so they've got to go and report it now. They're talking about what next and all that. And he tries to kiss her, but she don't want any of it. And I don't like Elizabeth Shue. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Not really from Philly, and then went over to LA to Uncle Phil's or whatever. Anyway, what we're saying? Oh, I'm not a fan of Elizabeth. As I said, I can see she just looks like she's acting to me. She never looks natural. But anyway, right. So they've got to report their findings now to the Pentagon and all that. But he's having a look at has a look at Isabel. She looks fine. It's not a great suit, is it? But it's okay. It's up there with the Congo gorilla, isn't it? Amy, but whatever. I'm from a city over, but Philly is a second home. It's like me, I suppose you could say. I'm from a small town near Leeds, and if anybody ever asks me where I'm from, I say near Leeds. But anyway, I say small town, smallish. 60,000, well, 70,000 population, so not a big town, I suppose. But anyway, where were we? Oh my! So goes and checks on. There's a dog in here. There you go. You can see it on the thermal, and this dog's not gone mental. It's no good. It strokes him and stuff, and he strokes him. He strokes it. They ask him what's it like, and then he lets it lick him. I hate seeing dogs lick people. It's always made me cringe. I was thinking, it's been licking its ass. Anyway, right. So here we go. They're at the Pentagon, and they actually film at the Pentagon, I think. Another film, the exteriors are at the Pentagon. I'm not sure. I'm sure Paul Verhoven said they filmed inside the Pentagon as well. So maybe this is one of the rooms in the Pentagon. I don't know, or is it just on the studio? I don't know, but it's where he's doing his report, and he lies to him. There's William Devane there, and that fella there is. He always plays like military people, so you can see him, so you get a shot of him. So I'm going to show him. I think this is showing a failure. I don't know this. I don't think this is Isabel. I think this is another gorilla that they tried to bring it back, and it essentially just disintegrated on the table. It doesn't dwell on it. Oh, that fella. I've seen him in loads of stuff. He usually plays military people. He's been in like Babylon 5 and stuff. But because I think it just basically just disintegrated on the table as they tried to bring it back. Justin says, I think Kevin's character in this isn't a bad guy to start. He goes crazy, so I understand. He's a bit volatile, but he's essentially not a bad guy, and he has, wicked thoughts like we all do. But then once it turns invisible, it kind of gets to him. Something happens, something snaps inside him, doesn't it? But we'll get to that, won't we? It was a DS9 Admiral. All right, cool. Oh, why was the Admiral that had to do with what happened with I've got his bloody name now. Julian's parents. It was that Admiral that got them off lightly-ish or whatever. Allowed Julian to stay in Starfleet. It was that Admiral, wasn't it? Anywho, that's his first Star Trek person. Anyway, so he lies to him. He says, have you got it sorted out now? Have you made a breakthrough? And he says, no, we haven't, but we're close. That's why she's looking at him like that. Because she's supposed to be telling them, we've done it, we've cracked reversion. But he's lied to them. So they're going to get angry now. So William Devane tells him, well, you've always been a genius and all ever since you walked into my class. But our patience is running thin. So if you don't crack it soon, we'll find another Sebastian Kane who will. So there we go. because patience is running out. It's exactly the same in everything, isn't it, William Devane? But it's great. I like it. Right, so they've come out now. They're playing number with him. What the hell are you playing at? But they are actually at the actual Pentagon. I think they don't often allow films to film movies to film at the Pentagon, but they did this. But anywho, he's eccentric. Most super smart people are. Yes. But no, he's not a bad guy to start with, but he does become one, doesn't he? He says he's not ready to tell them because he's afraid basically that they'll take the project off him. Now that they've done it, he thinks that they'll take over and he'll lose control of it. That's what he's worried about. And he thinks they should go to phase 3 straight away, which is human trials. And that's why he's saying, "Are you nuts? We've got lots more stuff that we've got to do before we start testing it on humans." Yes, Windgrace is a super smart person and eccentric. He's not a person though, is he? Windgrace is a pan-dimensional mega being. Anyway, so he's asking them. He says, let's do this, and then we'll get the Nobel Prize and all that. And I think Matt's saying, but we could also end up in jail. But they agree to go on with it. Look, they all get in the car with him. So anyway, so he says, "Come on." So they've got in the car with him. So off they go. Right. So back at base, back at the lab. There's Greg Grunberg. Kim Dickens is asking, how did he get clearance? Oh, well, I volunteered. So he's saying he wants to do it. He wants to become the Invisible Man. And so he's an invisible man. It's not like in that blooming Lee Whannell film, The Invisible Man, which was just a man in an invisible suit. Gets me dead mad. Which wasn't a bad. I didn't mind the film. It just annoyed me that it was called The Invisible Man. Anyway. So they're saying, right, so we've got the go-ahead, so we're going to get on with it and stuff and all that. And but some of them are suspicious or dubious about it. It says, we've got to, push forward. Right, so this is what Paul Verhoeven described as his most restrained sex scene he's ever filmed. They don't actually get on with it, but she's trying her best with him. But Josh is Josh Brolin. Is saying, he's got other things on his mind about, going too quickly. Anyway, Winger says, Greg, Star Trek #2 for counting Kelvin. Yes, he was in the Kelvin universe, wasn't he? So anyway, so they're getting down to it. There we go. Right, so the big day. I imagine he's been to the gym as Kevin Bacon, because we're going to see his bum in a minute. I tells a rude joke about Superman and Wonder Woman and the Invisible Man. I won't go into it. But turns out, Superman had carnal intercourse with the Invisible Man. But they thought it was Wonder Woman, whatever. They're all laughing. It's a good joke. Right, so here we go. We're going to see Kevin Baker's bum. Yeah, there he is. And saying, come on, ladies, this is science. Could have worn his undies, couldn't he? Or some trunks or something, but never mind. So they're going to get it ready. Don't worry, we don't see his willy. Right, so why does this fella do this? Is it now where he does it? Look, what's he doing? Why is he pressing buttons on monitors? Is he putting the volume up or the brightness? I don't know. It's just to look snazzy, isn't it? It's just to look snazzy. So they're getting ready with all the computers and stuff. Serums irradiate. Why is this blue? Isabel. Oh no, because this is making him invisible, aren't they? Isabel's were brought back, so hers were red. Yes, of course. Right. Sorry. So he's getting the invisibility potion, essentially. Oh, and he says, I will do it. I will inject myself. Then if something goes wrong, you can't be blamed. So they say, okay, fair enough. So he injects himself. So now we just got to wait now. And he said, for a while, they don't think anything's happening. Then he says he starts feeling tingly. And then he starts freaking out. There we go. Ah! And So he's starting to, there we go, he's starting to go invisible now, and they think he's going to have a heart attack and stuff. They're getting ready with the crash cart and all that stuff, but then he settles down and he starts going invisible. There we go. And it's cool effects. I mean, it was groundbreaking at the time. I think it won the Academy Award for its visual effects. I know it was nominated. I think it won. Did it? Let's have a look. Bear with me. Does it say accolades? Where does it say? Oh no, it was nominated for best visual effects, losing to Gladiator. I know Gladiator had quite a lot of visual effects, but it was more like backgrounds and stuff, wasn't it? But anyway, whatever. Right, so there goes quantum phase is shifting because it's all like Star Trek stuff, isn't it? Anyway, so here he goes. There he goes, turning invisible. Look, there he goes, going down to his skeleton. Hang on, let's go back a bit, and there we see his. There we go. There, where he goes. There we go. Bio-quantum phase shift occurred 1826. So he's now invisible. But still in our phase. It's not like Geordie and Ensign Rowe, where they could move through things. He's still physically there, but just we can't see him. He's out of our visible perception or something. And he's okie dokie. And actually, he's there, by the way. He's Kevin Bacon in a green suit. So when you see a pressing on his chest and stuff, he's actually there. Kevin Bacon took the job thinking, great, I won't have to be there for half the film because, I'm invisible. I'll just do voiceovers and stuff. But no, they found that had to have him there. And Kevin Bacon had to be there in a green suit and later on in a mask because they said, only Kevin Bacon moves in a certain way, so they had to have him do it and not just, a stand-in. I presume they got a stand-in for the stunts and stuff, but anyway. So he's invisible now, and the plan is he's going to stay invisible for 3 days, do some tests and stuff, and then they'll bring him back, and and then go and collect their Nobel prizes. What's up with Josh Brolin's arm there? It's very lumpy, isn't it? But anyway. She fell asleep, keeping an eye on him. So anyway. Right, he wakes up. There we go. He says, turn the light off, because remember, he's invisible. So to him, when he closes his eyes, everything's still bright. So, he says, I can't close my eyes. I mean, he can, but it doesn't make any difference, does it? Because his eyelids are invisible. Anyway, there he is. And he's in the room with them now, so he's having fun and games. All fun and games. He's hiding from them, brushing past them and stuff like that. He gets somebody's hair. Oh, he brushed past me. Oh. So, what's his Frank or whatever his name is? Art Garfunkel here. Gets one of them goggle things, and this is where you get your first glimpse of his willy, because he's hiding behind there. Oh, there it is. Look, you see. Kevin Bacon's Jimmy Riddler. It's all fun and games. So anyway, he puts that on, and goes and lies on the bed, and there we go. So lots of motion control, camera work and stuff for the visual effects, because he's actually there in a green suit, and then they had to do that shot, that pass, and then they had to film it again without him there, and I presume the other shots as well for the inside of the sheet or the inside of his mask and all that. It's all very super complicated, isn't it? So no wonder it was nominated. Anyway, right, so they're all going home now, so she's got the shift, the overnight shift, to keep an eye on him. This is where he's going to do his first naughty thing. So it didn't take long, did it, for it to start affecting him? But anyway, here she is. There she's seen. He's there on the camera, asleep on his bed. She nods off, and then we see the door open. So the passage of time, presume, goes past. All the animals know he's there. Look, and he comes in and he has a good fondle. So I'm going to have to be quick here because we get the first bit of boobage. He basically, he fondles, I forgot her name, Sarah. He fondles Sarah's bits and bobs, and then legs it. Hey, ooh, close. Hopefully I were obscuring it. But she wakes up, and then obviously not there. She's suspicious, but she looks at the camera, and he hops back into bed as though nothing had happened. He sees he's not there, but then he hops back into bed. So I think she knows it was him. She knows he's basically, SA'd her. That's an SA, you know what I mean? And so she's saying to Linda, I think he's had a good grope of me while I was asleep, but he said he was getting coffee because he's denying it. So anyway, he does worse later. He does worse, but anyway. So Matt asks him, what were your first night like? And he says, restless. I got up to get some coffee and stuff like that. But he says it's not a problem. I'm okay. But anyway, she gets a bit freaked out here. She's looking. She says, "Are you looking at me?" And he says, "No." It's a bit like probably when Jack O'Neill were invisible in Stargate in episode 200, when Carter were in the shower. She looks round the curtain. "Sir, are you there?" "No." Anyway. Right, so we get another thing here now. So they're all a bit on edge now. They don't know if he's going to be wandering about in the invisible nudeness. When was it filmed, by the way? When were the filming times? Production. Let's have a look. Filming. April. Because he does. Obviously, he's wandering about a lot in the nude, isn't he? For being invisible. So it must have been, April. It's not exactly. Hang on. August as well. April and August. I wonder if they shot the scenes where they needed Kevin Bacon. Well, no, you know what I mean. Whatever. It doesn't matter, does it? But anyway, I presume the weather was nice and warm. For Sebastian, not in real life. It doesn't really matter, does it? Anyway, they're all a bit wary that he's wandering about invisible, pranking them. So she's going to the loo, and she's a bit wary now. It's obviously, joint toilets because there's urinals and things. But have they got cubicles? Because it's just, look, hang on, it's just there, the middle of the room. I'd want a bit of privacy. I'd want the thing with a door that I can lock. God's sake. Anyway, she's just going to go for a wee. And then she's worried now, so she's got to get the goggles to make sure there's nobody there. There we go. So she can go for a wee. And she's saying here, it's freaky. It's freaking me out. I need the goggles just to take a pee. And he says, "Oh, do you want to see that?" I say, "I don't know. You never know, do you? Some weirdos out there." Anyway, so they're all suspicious. They're talking about him, and but they don't know he's actually sat there listening to him, and he must be being really quiet. I'd be giggling if I'd been invisible and listening to me. I'd be like, or I'd probably sneeze. I'd do something. I'd just give myself away, or cough. But anyway, now we see that the chair moves out, and he gets out of the chair. Look. So he's been listening to him. So his thing, it's probably going to start getting paranoid now, isn't it? So he's got the power of being invisible, being able to do whatever he wants without being seen, and now he thinks they're all turning on him. Anywho, now he's doing some pranks with her. She's using her microscope. He's moving her Coke can that you can't see. It's behind me, but there you go. He keeps moving it about, and he was playing with her hair. And now does he kiss her here? Because, hang on, where are we? He says, "What is this? Can you guess what this is?" And then something presses against her lips. So is he kissing her or doing something else? I don't know. I'd rather not think about that too much. And neither does she. So she goes, and they do a shot here where she's looking directly into camera. She's obviously looking at Sebastian, but she's looking at us too. Why? Don't know. Are we invisible? I think it's supposed to be that voyeuristic thing. He can be a voyeur now. Okay, he can go and look at anything he wants and not be seen. I think it's that what it's supposed to be. The camera is the voyeur, as is the audience. Whatever. Anyway, so she fobs him off, and right. So they're going to get ready. Getting ready to bring him back. So here we go. There's the red stuff, which is not quite as red as Isabel's was, but never mind. Maybe they've done something wrong because it doesn't work. He starts coming back. Can't breathe, he says, and his stats go all haywire. And he breaks out of his bonds. He knocks Greg Grunberg across the room, and he gets out of his bonds. There we go. And he starts coming back. We see him. They get him. Hang on, I've missed a bit. Come back out a bit. There we go. He does start coming back, look, but then he starts going invisible again. So they get him back, and he phases out again, but he doesn't die, obviously. So they don't know what's gone wrong, and obviously what works on gorillas doesn't work on people. But anyway, so they've got to suss it out. So they're going to make him a mask. That's what they're doing. They're making a mask for him, which is. They said this is something I can't remember. Something made from something from the sea. I can't remember what they called it. It's like a latex thing for his mask, but it's made for the stuff that like dental impressions are made from. That's what this is anyway. So there you go. They pour it over him, which is a cool effect. As I say, Kevin Bacon in a green thing over his face. And they're just pouring it on him, and then they just removed him afterwards, which is cool. But he didn't like the mask. Like I say, wears this mask quite a bit in this film now, and Kevin Bacon, it wasn't nice for him. It felt weird on his skin, and they were wearing it for like hours and hours a day, but, whatever. I suppose they paid him a lot of money. On this bit where she's cutting the eye holes, he's actually there, there's Kevin Bacon. Does he speak? He might speak, I don't know. But you think, for this, would they need Kevin Bacon to be there? Couldn't they just use like a fake head or something? But no, he's there. And they put metal plates over his eyes so she didn't stab his eyes out with the scissors. But you think couldn't they just make do? Just for this one scene? But no, they couldn't. So there we go. So he's getting his mask. There we go. They've now got some shades as well. Right, so back at Linda's, Matt's trying to work it out again, how to get Sebastian back, but he can't. There you go. Simulation failed. He can't get the B and C. That's what he says. How he describes it. He says, his science teacher said, to get from A to D, you need to go through the B and C. And there's a few geniuses like Sebastian who could jump straight from A to D. But he says, I always need the B and C. That's what he's saying. So, anywho, right. So, yes. I presume this is. I think 10 days have passed now. He's been phase shifter for 10 days, and he's obviously not feeling well. They're getting him to the toilet or whatever. Again, the toilet in the middle of the room. No such thing as privacy, is there? But anyway, he's throwing up, but we can see that what he's throwing up is invisible. They're going to show it. There we go. We just see the effect it's having on the water. So that when he swallows things, it becomes invisible as well. It's effective. It phase shifts as well. So, there you go. So they have a little row, saying, "Oh, sorry, it's not easy for us." And he says, "Don't you say it's not easy for us?" And I've been like this for 10 days. There we go. Anyway, so I say, we're working as hard as we can. Anyway, so that's not enough. Anyway, he says, he's going stir crazy. He needs to get out. So he's going to go now. That was close, wasn't it? Greg Grunberg looking at a cheeky magazine. Let's make sure we're still going. Make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. Oh, we've got like a stream boo, except it's not stream boo, it's something else on Twitch. Anyway, so here he is sitting, mulling over his predicament. So I think, right, I'm going out. So he's going to get dressed and go out. There he is. I'm going out, he says to whatever Greg Grunberg's character's called. Where is he? Carter Abbey. He says, I'm going out. Says, you're not allowed to. Says, I'm allowed to do anything. I'm the boss. There we go. So I'm going. So he says, so he phones Linda and Matt up. He says, he's gone out. They've got to go looking for him. So here he goes. All right. Goes past Ed. Ed says, I haven't seen you for a while, Doc. Says, oh, you know what it's like. And he's obviously got a hoodie up, but, you know, Ed's not really twigging that he looks a bit weird. You know, because he surely can see him enough. Look, he's like, hang on, have you had some terrible accident? Have you been burned or something? But anyway, he sounds like Sebastian Kane. So off he goes for a drive. Here we go. Now he's listening to his rock music again. It's where the funny bit where he scares the two kids in this car. There we go. Apparently this one in the original script, Paul Verhoeven's idea, and to do this scene. And that man's weird, so he shows them that he's invisible. Ah, there we go. Mummy, it's a ghost. Anyway, right. So they've got the call from Carter. So they're going to go and look for him. He's going to go to the lab. She says, "I'll go check his apartment." And he goes to kiss her. He goes to kiss her just before this bit, and she stops and says, "He could be anywhere. You know, could be watching." Because obviously she don't want him to know that they're an item, because he's jealous enough as it is, I think. Anyway, right, so he's arrived back at his apartment, Sebastian, and he's having a look round, and he looks over and he sees Rona Mitra, there we go, in her apartment, and it's obviously going right, he's thinking about what he could do. Oh, pardon me. Look, he's got to look himself in the mirror. Anyway, so he's gonna do it. So this is where he turns evil now in this part of the film, isn't it? Which goes on for a lot long. Well, not a lot longer, a bit longer in this. This is by the way, we're watching the extended version, the director's cut, not the theatrical cut. In the theatrical cut, it's over just like that, and there's a couple of other bits in, but it goes into much more explicit detail in the director's cut. Anyway, she's having a shower. I'm going to have to be quick here because we see Rona Mitra's boobies and stuff. Anyway, there's a knock on the door, so she looks out. Obviously, nobody there. She comes back, knock on the door again. So she looks out, and then he goes running in. Don't you hear his footsteps? He must be very light-footed because he goes running in past her. Here he goes. Didn't you hear him? Maybe he's on invisible roller skates or something, I don't know. But he's got in the room. And basically now he's going to, do naughty things with Rona Mitra. He messes with her first, makes her... Crikey. Makes her mirror move. And then now he's going to assault her. So there we go, he's going to assault her. And in the director's... in the theatrical version, it ends there, and you don't see her again. We just see that she's getting attacked, but it goes into it more. It shows him attacking, getting on with it. Not shows him because he's invisible. You know what I mean? It shows the assault. Anyway, so Linda arrives at it. There we go, like that. He's proper assaulting her, if you know what I mean. The R word. Anyway. So she goes and knocks on his apartment door, notices it's open, it's open, so she's looking around, she sees that, there we go, he's wandering about without his mask on. Alright, so he's finished with, there you go, with Rona Mitra. So we see she's got all bruises on her and stuff, she's crying and all that, and then he comes away. What's her carpet made from? Is it made from memory foam or something? But anyway, we see he just walks out, and he actually talks about it sort of with Carter in a bit. But there's this bit here Does she know he's there? She looks round. He's there. He's hiding from her. Is he visible? What's he hiding? Because he ducks back behind the doorway. But she kind of senses he's there. So why don't she say, Sebastian, are you there? I know it's because it's a horror film and it's a sci-fi horror film, so they're adding a bit of tension, I suppose. But she's looking for him. Her legs look weird there. Anyway, she's looking for him. So why don't she just say, Sebastian, are you there? And he could go, no. But anyway, and she does it again here at the elevator. Anyway, so Sebastian goes into his apartment and splashes water on his face. Princess, she's fallen on me again, hasn't you? Well, you have, haven't you? Are you falling on me because you're a big silly sausage? She's a silly sausage. Get your lug oils. Anyway, where were we? Oh, he splashes water on his face, so this is obviously a visual effect. It wasn't wearing green. Apparently when... You can actually see a little bit sometimes. Let's say there, look. He were actually in blackface, essentially. They painted his face... Or he had like a... No, I think they just painted his face black because it worked better with the contrast and stuff. I think they did it again later when we see him in a swimming pool. But you can sometimes see little... I'll go through it a frame at a time. Little specks of black from the thing that he was wearing. I probably won't see it now. Now I've said that. But occasionally you do. But yeah, so there we go. Does he feel remorse? I don't really know. I was thinking, when I first watched it, I suppose still now, he's washing his face and he's thinking, oh no, what have I done? But he doesn't seem to dwell on it. So he's gone evil now. So anyway, so here they are, back at the lab. The arming up. We're gonna take him down. Anyway, so but he comes back. There we go. He says, I'm back now. She says, can I still shoot him? But he says, I just went to pick up some stuff. And then she comes in there, so what are you talking about? You didn't just do that. I went to your apartment, you weren't there, your mask was there, and all that. But it says, this is my project, I'll do what I want. There you go. My decision. Anyway. They're saying you're not, you shouldn't leave again. You knew the consequences of, being invisible and all that stuff. So he says to Carter, next time you do an inventory, get me an exercise wheel. And says, yeah, sure thing, boss. What is serious? Anyway. So now Linda is forced to tell Sarah that they went to phase 3 without permission. So she's like, oh no, you've ruined our careers and everything. And she gives her a good slap round the face later on when bad stuff really starts happening. If you know what I mean, people die and all that. But anyway, there you go. She's saying, don't tell on us because we're all in it together. Anywho, so I think this is the bit with the Greg Grunberg. I think this is that bit. They say, what did you do while you were outside? If it were me, I'd have been whispering people's ears and stuff like that. There we go. And he does say, what was it now? He does mention the woman. Where is it? I wasn't out for very long. Did you see anybody? There you go. There was this one girl. He says, I just scared her. Did you mess with her? No. Maybe I scared her a little. So he doesn't own up to the terrible thing he's done. Anyway. Right, so... by the way, he kills a fly, by the way. So a little crossover with Jeff Goldblum. Or Hal... David Hedison or Hal Edison. Depends. So it's got this captures this fly. He had it in his hand earlier on, this fly. Not that you could see it, but you could see the fly going, and now he's killed it on his... where is it? There it is. It's killed it. Should have had the little white head. He should have painted its head white, shouldn't it? Going, help me! Anyway, it creeps me out, does that film. The original The Fly. Anyway, it just flicks it away like that. Because he has showing he has, don't care about life anymore, even flies, whatever. Right, so we're now in a dream sequence now. Linda's in bed. We're not supposed to know it's a dream sequence till she wakes up, but you know what I mean. We think Sebastian's at it again, look, and then she wakes up. Ah, it were all a dream. But in dreams, well, I've found this generally. When you have a dream, it's usually from your perspective, not from an external perspective. But anyway, whatever. I had a dream last night that I don't know who it was. There was somebody, and they said, "Follow me to wherever." I can't remember what it were about. And they got in a car, drove off, and I set off walking. And I'm walking for ages, and I was thinking, "Why am I walking when they're in a car?" And I lost sight of them, and I got lost. Weird dream, eh? Anyway. And I set off back. I set off back in my dream, but I woke up before I got back, so I don't know. I don't know how my dream would have carried on. Anyway, so she wakes up. There we go. It's we're all a dream, right? So, she gets a phone call then from Matt, who says, "I think I've cracked it." So they all pile into work, and he's showing his simulation. I don't know why he's doing it like this, because it didn't look like that when Sebastian did when he'd worked it out, did he? But anyway, they're watching the simulation, and it doesn't work. It gets to like 90% and then it goes wrong. And goes, "Oh no, sorry, we haven't got it right." Anyway, so obviously Sebastian's angry, and says, "You're all rubbish." So they're having a row, and he says, "I can't stand it anymore. I have no life," and all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So he needs to get out again. He needs to go out again. But so now he's going to show his genius, and it's Frank's turn to keep an eye on him. And he's going to get some... If faffs with it, with a what they call them? A circuit board thing. He shows us here. He gets the camera, the thermal camera that's watching him. He's going to show us. He thinks he can... See, I've gone past it now. Look, bloody thing. Bloody skip. Come on. There we go. No, I've done that. Come on. Is it? He gets... Is it going to show it here? No. Whatever. He gets a circuit board out of the camera and faffs with it. So basically it's showing him in bed all the time. I don't know how he does that, but it works. And it's showing him in bed all the time. So, right. There's a homeless man. He's messing with the homeless man, stealing his stuff. He's spying on Linda. So he sees Linda there, and Matt comes in. There we go. So they're going to get down and dirty. So he smashes the window before they have a chance to get on with it. Press the wrong button. There we go. Here it goes. Yeah. So they obviously think, "Oh, it must be Sebastian," because they see the fire, what they call it, fire escape, all shake as though somebody's going down the fire escape. So they think it's Sebastian. He knows. Anyway, so gets a phone call. They phone him up and they say, "Is Sebastian still in bed?" So he obviously checks the monitor. Yes, he's here. He's in bed. I'm staring at him. So I think, oh, right, fair enough. Must be just some weird thing. Right. So, but anyway, you see, he's pacing. He's pacing now, and he's angry because he knows that Linda's in a relationship with Matt, which he doesn't like. So he's pacing and getting angry, and we hear that dog. Remember that invisible dog from earlier on? But he was stroking and petting and being nice with before he turned evil. He can hear that barking, so he's going to shout at it and say, "Shut up, you stupid dog." There we go, quiet. So now he's going to just kill that dog. There we go. We see it's there. Look in the cage. And he opens it up. Hang on, there we go. Go back a bit. There we go. He gets the dog out. There's a real dog there. And then he moves it off camera. And then he's handed a fake dog for him to smash to smithereens. It's a very I don't know. It becomes super strong, by the way. It kills this dog like in no time at all. It's a very squidgy dog, isn't it? But so it killed the dog. Poor thing. Poor doggy. 'Cause he's mental now, and she finds the dog dead. Obviously, she sees it on the thing that it's all splattered all over the cage because obviously can't see it. But so she said, no, have you been here all time? Yeah. Franklin's dead. I said, well, nothing to do with me. I presume he's changed. He's faffed with the camera on that as well, on the dog's cage, because obviously that camera will have caught it all as well, won't it? But they don't check that one, I don't think. They just check his camera, and it says, "Oh, he's been in bed the whole time." Anyway, but obviously they're suspicious. All right, so she's back at her apartment, and I think she thinks he's there, and she does this with the blanket, and he's obviously there. Look, he's there, or was he? Don't know. Is he there? I don't know. I just can't remember. So anyway, so she gets back into work. Is it this where has she phoned him yet? I can't remember. The boss fella, William Devane. I can't remember if she's phoned him yet, or if she's gonna phone him. She threatened him. She threatened to phone William Devane and tell him the whole thing if he didn't stop being naughty. Does it hide smell too? Because invisible smells seem like they'd be strong. That's a good point, Wingrace. I don't know. I imagine not. Would it? But I imagine your farts would just smell just the same if you're invisible or not. Anyway, I don't know. They don't broach that subject here. Anyway, so she's suspicious, so she goes to check the circuit board in the camera and notices he's done something with it. There we go. We see that he's not there. There we go. Because she's looking at the camera, and she doesn't see herself on the camera, but when she does that with the circuit board, she sees that he's changed it. So anyway, so he's out and about. Look, thinks he's the Predator in Predator 2. Look. I was thinking bits of dog, all pretty. Yes. All those bits of dog would be a bit whiffy, wouldn't you? You'd think, wouldn't you? I don't know though. I've never smashed up an animal to know what that smashed up animal smells like. But yeah, you'd think it would whiff a bit, wouldn't you? But it's animal. Animals whiff anyway, don't they? Apart from you don't. Anyway. But it's a thought. Yes, it's a thought that we've got to have. Right, so he's going out in the nude. It's obviously in the nude, so I'm guessing it's a nice warm weather. I'm guessing he's hitched a lift somewhere. Anyway, or is he back now? He might be back now. He might have hitched a lift back. Is he gonna? Are they gonna? I can't actually remember. No, he's still out and about. Right. They're going to pay a visit, that's it. They don't phone him, they go and visit William Devane at his house, because they just happen to know where he lives. You'd thought they'd have phoned him, wouldn't you? But I mean, she phones his office later, but they go straight to his house. But they tell him all about it, and he says, thanks for telling me, but go back and start clearing out your officers, because basically they're all fired. Anyway, then we get his next Star Trek character actress. She played, I can't remember the name of his character, in The Inner Light. She was his wife, wasn't she? She was Jean-Luc's wife when he lived that entire life in The Inner Light. That's I don't know her name. I will tell you. She'll be on here, won't she? Mrs. Kramer. Margot Rose is the name of the actress. Mrs. Kramer. There we go. By the way, Sebastian's Rona Mitra's character doesn't have a name. She's just Sebastian's name. I think. Does it say in this other one? No, just Sebastian's name. Didn't even give her a name. Unbelievable. Anyway, we see he's smoking a pipe. He's William Devane, which will come, show us why he's doing that in a minute. Anyway, so here we go. So he's telling them that. So really, he's got to phone somebody up now. Phone the general or two up, and then but the phone's dead. So obviously, when the phone's dead, you immediately check the cable. I don't know. I just think, the phone's dead. I'll leave it 5 minutes. We'll see if it comes back on. Or whatever. Anyway, so we see that it's still connected. So he's going to have to go outside, isn't it, to check it. But we also see that the door's open. So that, it's being drawn outside. So out he goes by the swimming pool, smoking his pipe. He's going to get another effect. And there he is. Hi, boss. So he chucks William Devane in his pool and then jumps in. Hang on, I missed a bit. There we go. He goes in, and then we get another splash. And this is. I presume it's. I don't know. It might not be, but I'm guessing it is Kevin Bacon, because I kept saying it was Kevin Bacon all the time, in his black suit this time, because they found that for the water effects it worked out better if we were wearing a black suit rather than a green one or a blue one or whatever. But and they did tests with like transparent models and stuff, made out of perspex or glass or whatever, to see what it had looked like in water and stuff. But anyway, so here you go. So here he is. He's drowning William Devane. There he is. Drowning him. So right, and then he gets out and off he goes. Like I say, cool effects. I still think they're okay. I don't know, slightly dated, maybe a little bit. I don't know. It looks fine to me. I'm sure people that are into CG and all that say it looks rubbish. Looks fine to me. Right, so she's at work, gone back to work. Everybody's jumping now because it's freaking everybody out. By the way, I think he has more than one mask now, because it does change slightly, does his mask. They made him for the film. I think they made several masks for the film, but I think he might have in the film, in the story, he might have more than one mask, because it does change. But it's always got that line there. So maybe it's just, I don't know, worn or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, right. So he knows they're suspicious of him. So I say he's getting paranoid and stuff. He's murdered somebody now. He's sexually assaulted a woman, murdered somebody, killed a dog. So he's obviously not quite up there. Not quite right up there, is he? Anyway, so she gets on the phone. He asks, has Kramer called yet? So she gets on the phone, and this is where she learns he's dead. She phones his office, and learns he's drowned in his pool. So there you go. Thinking, what we're going to do now? Hang on, who's the phone in now? I can't remember who she's phoning. Oh, the General Castor. I guess it's that other fella. Princess has slumped onto me again. What you up to? Come on. Are you being a silly sausage? Eh? Where are you? Are you being a silly sausage, you? Eh? You are, aren't you? Get you. She's being a silly. Anyway, so she phones up General Castor, and then suddenly the phone goes dead. They go, hello, no dial tone. So it's all going wrong. We learn that all their codes, because they use codes to use the elevator and everything, they're all being deleted. So they go to check in there. The access codes. None of them are working. So they get Frank to hack into the system. This is where we're going to learn that he's deleted everybody's codes. There we go, except his own. So they can't get out. So they're going to go looking for him. So they arm up, get all the goggles and stuff, and the tranquilizers and all that. And have I missed a bit yet? No, because here we go. She's getting ready to go, and now he's going to murder somebody else now, because she goes through this door, and then he's there with a cord. So it doesn't show. There should be a cord floating in air, shouldn't there? But it doesn't show that. I thought that'd have been cool, wouldn't it? It just shows him in the thermal image with the, because he strangles her with this. I think it's a hose or a pipe or something, and but it doesn't show it in real life. I don't think it does anyway. Let's have a look. It's coming through the door. Let's have a look. See if we see it. See if we see a hose floating. No, no. Or whatever it is. It might be a rope. I don't know. I think it's a plastic hose. Yeah, just gets her. No, we still don't see it. It'd have been cool. Well, they spent all these millions on these blooming effects. They don't even do a little thing with a floating hose getting her. They thought so. It'd look good going round the neck by itself and that, wouldn't it? Tightening. But no, they just cut away from it. They just cut away from it as they go looking for him. They have... he comes over the tannoy. They go, sorry, Linda, but I can't let you turn me in. His voice is all like calm. It sounds like Hal from 2001. But apparently they did this on set. They had speakers up and they had Kevin Bacon talking through the speakers to him to creep him out. But anyway. So, I'm not going to let you catch me and turn me in, so you're going to have to try and find me. So that's what they're going to do. Right. They go looking round for him. They wonder where Janice is. This is where they find Janice. She's in that locker that they were just looking at. There we go. They opened the locker up and out she falls. They think it might be him, but there you go. And she's quite dead. There was one of them hoses, isn't it? One of them medical hose things. Or whatever they call them. For a drip, them. It's like, oh my God, he's murdered somebody. And this is where she gives her a good slap now. Kim Dickens gives Elizabeth Shue a good slap. Here, Eddie, here it comes. Here it comes, here, Eddie. Look, she's gonna see in her face, look. She's winding it up. There we go. So, anyway, so saying, she's right, God damn you and all that stuff. This is all your fault. You should have, not agreed to, but, Sebastian is very persuasive, isn't he? Anyway, so basically they've got to go and try and catch him, haven't they? So it's now a chase film as they've got to try and find him, and they can't. There we go. They think they see him behind these pipes. Blooming Matt can't shoot anything. He's useless. And this is where we see that suddenly Sebastian has got super strength. Because they say, cover me. And he's thinking, oh, it's not him, look, it's just steam. There we go. So it's just a goddamn vent. But when he turns round, we see Carter's hovering in mid-air. So he's picked him up. He's obviously up on top of this pipe here, is Sebastian. He's throttling him. Because we see it through the hang on, where is it? I ain't going to show it, is it? But anyway, see, look, he's throttling him. You see, he's got his hand. So he's super strong. He pick up. He's not a light man, is he? Greg Grunberg. So he's got super strength now. Anyway, so he shoots at him. And there we go. And shoots again. And then knocks that off. And this way, he drops Carter. Who? There we see him there. Look, he drops Carter. Look, how strong is he? Boing, there we go. That was obviously a dummy head. He's not dead, though. He's not dead yet. So he's got to go after him. Carter's down. He's hurt bad. So he's going after Sebastian. He was shooting us in. And so he's out of bullets, by the way. Or does he miss? I think he might miss. Yes, because he's always missing his rubbish shots. And he's out of darts now. So see, there's a fire extinguisher there. He's going to use that. There we go. He uses the fire extinguisher there. We see he's there. Look, it's there. So he's going to use that. That's where he's asking him. Was it the serum or the power that's made you go crazy? And what does he say? I can't remember. No, he doesn't really answer. He's just angry for no reason. Anyway, so beats him up because, like I say, super strong now. A he's a nude fighter essentially, isn't he? Beating people up and throttling people and strangling people in the nude. Right, so they go over to him and he's not dead. So she gets Frank to keep pressure on his neck and all that. I'll be back. Right, so obviously she's offered some blood for him because he's losing a lot of claret, is Carter. Anyway, so she's in there, and then I think something happens. Does that door close or something? Or does she hear him? I don't know, but she hears something. I think he speaks to her. I think he says something. Hang on, where are we? I think. Bear with me. Something happens anyway. I can't remember what. I think he says something to her. So she gets all the blood and throws it all over the floor, and then gets the tranquilizer gun. There we go. But he's not. He's behind her. So she throws it into his face. There we go. Cool effect. I do like that effect. So he's covered in blood now. So have a fight. Have a bit of a fight. I think he sees Willie again. But anyway, he shoots her with the tranquilizer dart. There we go. There we go. But he doesn't just leave her. He breaks her neck. He picks her up and breaks her neck and kills her. So that's somebody else's killed now. Tell you. Anyway, then Carter dies, and so off they go, and they find Sarah dead, and they go into the freezer for some reason. I don't know why. Hang on, I'm missing bits here. Missing bits, aren't I? And they say, "Where is he?" Oh, I think he'd pulled Sarah into the freezer. That was it. Had Sebastian. So they go in, and they, she's dead. So what's going on? He's spraying with the fire extinguisher outside so that we can see when he sneaks up on him. Look, he's there with a big crowbar thing, whatever it is. Because we're going to get another bit of gore, because it's a horror film, remember? Ching! Ah, no! So that's Frank done for. Oh, and then he gets Josh Brolin in the side as well. There we go. It's Paul Verhoven. You got a bit of gore, haven't you? So he gets him, but he don't die. Don't worry, because she's going to tape him up in a minute. I'm not kidding. Anyway, he turns the control, because it's a freezer, so he turns it down and shuts him in. Shuts him in the freezer. There we go. So she tapes him up. There you go. You're losing blood, but he didn't hit any organs, so she gets some duct tape and tapes him up. Am I missing it? No, she does in a bit. There we go. I think next time we see, she's taping him up. Meanwhile, there we go. He's getting ready to leave. He's going to go out and just, I don't know, do whatever he wants to do. So he's got a mask, which is definitely a different mask, isn't it? Smoother than the old one. So he must have more than one. That would hurt. Yes, I imagine it would. Being run through with a what they call it, crowbar, and then taped up with duct tape. Just peeling it off had hurt as well, wouldn't it? The hairs. But anyway, so he's going to try and make himself look a bit more human. So here he is. He's going to paint on some eyebrows or draw. There she is. Taping him up with duct tape. She needs some super glue, doesn't she? Like in Dog Soldiers, when they stuffed Sean Pertwee's guts back in and taped him, stuck him back together with super glue. Anyway, so she's got to work out how to get him out, how to get out of this freezer. Luckily, this freezer doesn't have your regular freezer door handle. It's got like a sliding bolt. Do all freezers have that? I don't know. Usually they have a handle, don't they? But anyway, so he's got to work out how to get out. Anyway, so here he is. There he is. He's drawn himself some eyebrows, got a wig for himself, which looks oddly like, actually Kevin Bacon's hair, and drawn himself some lips and cut some nose holes. Did he have nose holes before? I can't actually remember. Never mind. So he says, ready to go outside. Right, so she's a scientist. Oh, I do a little effect here where her tear freezes on her cheek. Look, it's frozen on her cheek. Which I think was a plastic one, obviously. But now she's going to use science. So there we go, because they've got for some reason, the defibrillators in the freezer as well. I don't know why, it just is. So she's going to use that. because I imagine defibrillators use a lot of electricity. I don't know, but she uses the electricity from it, and it's going to show us. There we go. She's MacGyvering up an electromagnet. That's what she's doing. There we go. She's got a metal handle off one of the drawers or whatever, and she's wrapped all the wire around. She's going to make an electromagnet because there we go. He's going to blow the lab up. By the way, he's just doing some chemicals, household chemicals in the right what's the word? Amounts, whatever, and they're going to blow up the lab, I think. Anyway, so there we go. It works. Look, she's using the magnet to open the freezer door, and obviously it works. And because girl boss. So she drags him out and starts warming him up. She sets a fire in that bin. She puts loads of computer paper in that bin and sets it on fire to warm him up, and then off she goes to find what's his face, Sebastian. I can't remember what he's doing in the lab. I thought he was setting it to blow up. Let's have a look. What's he doing? Is he going to make more invisible people? Maybe he is. I honestly can't remember. He's doing something anyway, isn't he? Can't remember. I'm sure it blows up. I could be wrong. Right, so that's setting that going. Has it set it to blow up? Yes, it does, because that's what it was mixing up, wasn't it? So that's gonna centrifuge is gonna go, and then it'll all explode, won't it? And it's gonna destroy the lab. And there we go, smashing the keyboard up. We've all wanted to do that, haven't we? More than once, probably. So off he goes, and she comes out. Hang on, she's busy doing something else first. Hang on, she does that. Then what does she grab? She's grabbed something else. I think it's an oxygen cylinder or something. Have I missed it again? I keep going past it. There we go. Yes, there they go. Explosive gas cylinder, probably oxygen or whatever. She picks that up. There we go. And a hose. So she stops him. They go, can't let you leave. I'm going anyway. So she sets him on fire. This was a good stunt, I suppose you could say. I think that is actually Elizabeth Shue. You wouldn't think so. I don't know, but it showed in the behind the scenes how they did it, and I'm sure it was Elizabeth Shue, but you wouldn't think they'd let her do this stunt. But it showed how they did it, and I think they did a couple of takes at least, and set him on fire. A stuntman on fire who jumps over. That can't be Elizabeth Shue, can it? But it looked like her in the making of. There we go. Jumps over her. There we go. And then in real life, there's a cut, and then they put him out, and then everybody went for coffee or whatever, and then they got ready for the next setup. But it just carries on here, obviously. But she sets him on fire again, and he goes running off, and all his clothes are burning off, and his somehow, I don't know, his mask melts off. But has he got a full body mask now? What's going on here? I don't know. But anyway. Or is it just his skin that's melting off? I don't know. Like I say, he's turned into some sort of... He's a monster now, isn't he? Sebastian Kane is the monster of the film. So I imagine he's severe burns now, but he's just carrying on. He's not curled up in a fetal position on the floor like I would be, screaming in agony. He's a monster. And he's gone invisible again, by the way, because he goes running off. There we go. Goes running off as his... I don't know is that supposed to be the top layer of his skin, or is it the clothes and mask or whatever? Did he have a full body mask, latex thing? I don't know, but it all flitters away to dust. So now he's invisible again, but probably in a lot of pain, I imagine, with severe burns. She's like, oh, what do I do now? She thinks, oh, I know what to do. She does a Ripley in Aliens. She starts the sprinklers going. There we go. Now we can see him. He'll be in the water. There he is, sneaking up on her. She's going to get another slap. I think she gets a punch this time. So Kim Dickens slapped her. Now invisible Kevin Bacon's going to give her a good hiding look. So So he's going to kill her now. There he goes, throttling her. But, yay! Josh Brolin's back and gives him a whack with the crowbar. Just knocks it, any normal person that'd have killed him, wouldn't he? He's right on his head. But no, he's not dead. He's not dead. So they're going to try and get out of there. We see. Yes, I forgot this bit. Hang on. There we go. He's not dead. Look, he's getting up behind. You can just see him behind me. He's getting up as he got the crowbar. Look, and the duck out the way, and it's the Frank Spencer style, accident waiting to happen and all that. Hits this electricity thing that's there for some reason, and gets zapped with electricity now. So that's it, he's been burnt. Now he's been electrocuted. And we see that we saw earlier on, by the way, obviously it skipped over it when they were going through, with the gorilla. She were going into a rest, so they used the paddles on her. And as they did the clear, she became visible again and then disappeared again. But the electricity makes you appear briefly, so that's what's happening here. But anyway, so we can see he's kind of partly visible. He's the visible man-ish. So there we go. So he's dead, but we see he's coming back. Anyway, I heard an explosion. But he's going to get up. He's not dead because, they never stay down, do they? So they've got to get out of there to the elevator. There we go. So they get to climbing up the elevator shaft because remember their codes don't work anymore. And then it's all going to blow up now. There we go. Setting off the centrifuge. It's going to blow up James Bond style. So they're going to climb up the elevator shaft. Up they go. Pardon me. So everything it must be the most explosive. What's it made of, this lab? But everything's blowing up. Not just that where the thing was that was spinning the centrifuge. Look, everything's blowing up. Did he deliberately make his lab out of highly explosive materials? He must have done. Look, it's all going up, all blowing up everywhere. Look. Everything, look. Because it's going to make, because they can't be out of danger now. It's going to make the elevator go up the shaft. There we go. Just like Scotty might say, up you're a shaft. Anyway, so she's going to get caught a little bit by the elevator as it goes by. Here it comes. Stick to the side, but it does catch her a little bit. Have I missed it? And there it goes. Bet that hurts. Ooh. So anyway, up it goes. But look, the flames don't get them, but then the elevator starts coming down again. So they've got to go back down. Thankfully, the flames subside. But the elevator stops. Hang on, it stops just in time. They start climbing again. He must have been in the elevator, must Sebastian, because he's going to appear now. There we go. And he grabs hold of her. There we go. And she goes, I have had enough of you, in a bit. Because he's trying to get her. But she just... hang on, where are we? I think I've missed a bit. Skips over stuff. There we go. She lets go. She pushes them. No, that's it. She lets go and they end up on the top of the elevator. There we go. And that's all that's holding the elevator on now is that one cable that luckily has an easily releasable release. So she hangs onto the cable in a minute. He's going to come back down. He's stuck. He can't go any further. But he wants to kiss her. One last kiss because he's evil. For old time's sake. He says, no way. Well, yes, he does. But she gets hold of the cables, look. The easy release. There we go. It just happens to have a foot pedal there. They all have them. I don't know. But it's to release the cable. So she's hanging on. And thankfully, he's not hanging on to her, even though he was. But he's not anymore. And she says, go to hell. And releases it. And he falls with the elevator. There he goes. Just make sure, because I've been playing clips, haven't I? No, we're all right. So down he goes. I think Kevin Bacon actually did that as well. They did a fall. Well, I think he's on what do they call them? On the cable that stops you suddenly. You know, you can't hit the bottom. I forgot what they call them. He did that stunt anyway. In his green suit, I imagine. But he falls to his death. I presume he's dead. I don't know. He's been through a lot, hasn't it? He could be fine down there. But anyway. And she climbs back up because, you know, girl boss, woke. So they get out and everything's cool and they get out. Look, I imagine Ed helped him. Is he there? There we go. There's Ed. He helps them out. And the film just ends here. They get out. Everything's lovely. It should show like an invisible thing just in the background, shouldn't it? Maybe it does. Maybe he does get out. Who knows? It doesn't appear in Hollow Man 2 though, does it? Which is in this. I've only seen it once. I can't remember what happens in it. I know it ain't got Kevin Bacon in, I don't think. But anyway, there we go. The film ends as they drive away in an ambulance. I imagine they've got Blue Cross or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so there we go. Cool film. I really like Hollow Man. It's Paul Verhoeven's last big budget American film before he went back to Europe to do other stuff. I've not seen any of his films after this. There's that Black Book, isn't there? Is it Black Book? I've not seen that. And there's another one as well, isn't there? But anyway, so there we go. Cool film. I really like Hollow Man. It's really well worth a look. So yeah, there we go. Great film. Why did he go mental? I don't know. Maybe it was. I think it was supposed to be a little bit, not crazy, but as Justin said, eccentric to begin with. But then once he became invisible, it emphasised all of his eccentricities and paranoia and all that stuff. Also made him super strong and super, pain resistant. But anyway, it is still a good film. I think the best Invisible Man film out there. I think it is. I love the original Invisible Man film with is it Claude Rains, but it's from 1930, I don't know, 33, 34, something like that, isn't it? But and the new one, the Lee Whannell one, it was alright, but he wasn't an invisible man. He had an invisible suit. So Harry Potter's the invisible man then, because he's got an invisible cloak, hasn't he? But anyway, whatever. I'm waffling. Right, so there we go. That's the end of that. Great film. Go and watch it. It's on, I think it's on Amazon. I can't remember what I put in the. It'll be on Amazon, and it's on. Probably rent and buy it on YouTube or whatever. Yes, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's got the Invisible Man in as well, but it's not an Invisible Man film, is it? But he is in it, isn't he? Yes. I've forgot the name of the actor. Is it something Cullen? Is it? I can't remember his name. He's been in loads of stuff, hasn't he? But yes. I can't think of any other Invisible Man films. There was the TV series, wasn't the Invisible Man with David McCallum? I used to like that. And then there was the the Gemini Man with what's his name? Ben from Alias Smith and Jones. Him, where he could stay invisible for I think it was 15 minutes at a time, something like that, wasn't it? He had a watch that counted down. He used to go invisible for 15 minutes at a time. But they were TV shows. Anywho, we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. So yeah, cool film. I love Hollow Man. I can't remember what happens in Hollow Man 2. I've got it on this set that I've got on Blu-ray. But and I've seen it once when it first came out, and I can't remember what happens in it. I'll have to give it a watch. Maybe we'll do it one day, but we'll leave it there. So what's coming up next? I'll tell you. On what day is it? Friday. I don't know what I'm doing on Sunday yet. If anything, we'll see. Might do a sketch thing for members. Might do something else. I don't know. We'll see. And on Monday, what we're doing on Monday? On Monday, for Magnificent Mondays, we're doing Cowboys and Aliens. I like this film, despite it being co-written. Well, he's involved in it, Alex Kurtzman. But apart from that, it's a decent flick. Wingrace says Elite Force gaming stream. I have got it, but I don't think because it's on my computer. My computer doesn't do streaming very well. Even though it's a decent computer, for some reason I can't stream PC games very well on it. Never mind. Never mind. Anyway, yes, that's on Monday. Have I got anything else set up? Can't remember. Wednesday, for Watch Party Wednesday, I forgot what I've picked. Runaway. We're watching Runaway on Watch Party Wednesday with Tom Selleck and Cynthia Rhodes and Gene Simmons. So we're watching that on Wednesday. And I don't think I've picked anything else for next week, have I? I'll have to check. Just bear with me. I'm going to have a look. Is that all I've got sorted out? For next week, yes, it is. That's all I've got sorted out for next week. So there we go. Right, so I will think of something for next Friday during the week. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Win Grace, and thanks, Justin. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Great stuff. Did anybody else pop in while I was, waffling on? No. Nobody else popped in. Is there anything on Rumble? No Rumble chats. Nah, nobody's. We had not a stream boo, but what does it say? Viewers, SMM Hype 11.online. There we go. I'm not going to go. But anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Don't have nightmares. Don't worry, invisible men aren't real, probably. So you'll be fine. So, until next time, I'll say the...